today that's happening in real time that I wanted to give a heads up to all of my entrepreneurs, marketing folk, people in the influencer space, in the SaaS space, the software as service, sassy. So we got something going on here. And good morning to everybody. If it's morning where you are, it's almost lunchtime here. And props to the Brian Buffini crew for the mug that I've just spilled everything on. Thank you. So when I say influencer, sometimes that brings visions of different people and situations or demographics. And like influencer, unless you're in the space, like on behalf of a company and you work with them and deal with them, a lot of the times the term influencer is thrown around in a negative term. And, you know, I understand somewhat with it sometimes, and good morning, Tim, that we have an issue with these type of things. And what's up, Colin? See you from West Coast and bright and early. Good to see you. Hopefully the weather has sorted itself out there. I got out of there in the nick of time that last time I was out there. The term influencer simply means somebody who has influence over an audience that you have a product or service that you want to get in front of. That's dealing with an influencer. Okay, so the influence is a thing. Obviously, an influencer is implied. I believe that you get paid in either a product or monetary terms to promote something, to talk about something. And they have all different ways of doing that. And good morning to you, David. That there's different deals when it comes to influencers, right? You can have an affiliate deal with somebody. So if I promote, let's say, your software, and there's a code, and you watch a video on YouTube from a creator, which is also an influencer, from a creator, and they're like, use code Scott to get 20% off, whatever it is. And obviously that tracks the referral. And sometimes they'll get a bonus because of the referral. Sometimes it's a flat rate. Sometimes it's only affiliates. It's only pay for performance and whatever that is. It all depends on where your leverage is as an influencer as well. Hi, Julia. It's good to see you here. I'm here anyways. It's good to see you here. Thank you. I've been watching your journeys and your travel through life online, Julia. Love it. So here's the situation we're in. And it has to do with what I've been watching on YouTube. I watch YouTube nonstop. It's like my encyclopedia of the 80s. I just go down rabbit holes all the time. And I'm watching something that was going on. And this is a very interesting thing, but also not just the problem that happened, but also how they handled it. Okay, so I'm going to bring you into my screen and show you here. So I'll put my camera on so you can see my morning face. Okay, let me flip over to this here. I'm going to flip over to Daniel's channel. So this is Daniel, okay? And Daniel, looks like that's my kind of person. So Daniel has this channel here. It's the Better Videos, Grow Channels Faster, Video Editing Tips and YouTube Growth Strategies, right? Love his stuff. One of the, if you really want to be, see the best kind of content creators, visually and editing wise on YouTube, look up the video editors. So, how I learned a lot of this stuff here that I figured out with my setup here? That was watching creators. I was watching a bunch of different creators. I hadn't stumbled upon Daniel in that journey, but I had recently because it popped up in my recommended feed. Mostly because, I'm sure that Google and YouTube all know that we go after unethical business practices. That's one of our main things in all the books and in our business. We kind of show those things. So Daniel talks and shows his users. He talks about, you can see here at the top here, there's that video that says how to get started in DaVinci Resolve. It's one of the video editing software. And he was the original creator partner that they teamed up with at this company, Wondershare Filmora. It's our video editing app. He was the first partner for them. So when they come out, and he would always walk people through how to do it. It's a great way. One of the best ways to get consulting, to get affiliate stuff, all this stuff, is to teach. And what he does there is incredible. I love his video. I went down the rabbit hole of his videos too. They're fantastic. I love his vibe. I love his editing style, and I love his videos. And so it's perfect combination. And so like anything, a lot of times, and you can remember this for your own stuff as well, is that a lot of times with discovery, it's the same with podcasts a lot of times. It's like I discover you through search, or I discover you through a recommendation, and that topic, hooks me because I don't know who you are, but the host, you, the creator, keeps me. It's like podcast interviewing. It's like How I Built This, the NPR podcast with Guy Raz, that I listened to my first episode because I saw it was the founders of Five Guys were talking about, how they built their business. And I'm like, I'd love to hear that. But Guy was such a great interviewer, I just kept listening. Even though even if it wasn't a business I loved or knew, I would listen because I knew it would be a great interview. So you knew there was gonna be great content on the channel like this. So what his big thing is this is their current plan. This is Filmora's current plan. It's like anything. It's a SaaS, software as a service, right? So what he's talking about, though, is when they originally came out years ago, they had a lifetime license. It was about $50, $59. By the way, I certainly encourage you to go watch these videos. But you can see here the Filmora lifetime license saga. Okay. And where he goes here, and this is the video I want to start with, but don't worry, if you just search YouTube for Filmora, this will come right near the top. So take that as you will. And he made a video saying Filmora just canceled our lifetime licenses. So here was the deal. It wasn't like for that version. So he got it, I think it was Filmora 8, I believe, or whatever the number was, way early on. And every time a new one came out, Filmora 9, Filmora 10, his lifetime license gave him access through them forever. It was $59 because they were starting out, and if you bought it, and he actually bought a couple licenses for a couple of his machines. And always been promoting it, and people would sign up in droves because of his tutorials, because of his thing. So that's one of the issues about being a creator and an influencer too, is that it's now your recommendation. So he has a vested interest in these recommendations. Okay, we had a vested interest in recommendations, and I'm seeing in the chat right now too, which is fascinating. David mentions I bought a lifetime license through them. Tim says I'm also a lifetime license holder from 2016. So this is what, oh, look, I'm double video. What this is, oh my God, it's a matrix. Sorry. So as you can see, people, and you buy them for different reasons. You found out about through a blog post, through an event, or webinar, whatever it is, content and videos. And obviously the path to least resistance on learning how to make videos is going on to a video platform like YouTube and watching video editors do that thing. So all of his recommendations went along with that. And you have this thing where he makes this video and they just simply said, if you want Filmora 12, then you have to pay to upgrade. And they changed the wordings along the way from update and upgrade and license to perpetual plan to all these. And it was just getting shifty. And I get it. Look, a lifetime license for $59. I'm like, that's almost too good to be true. But I also understand when these companies start up, there's so much competition in these spaces. You have to do a lot of these things to break through. So I understand why they did it. It's a kiss of death a lot of times too, because you're not looking down the road. You're not looking for how much these things are going to cost. How much does it take to rebuild an entire software from the ground up for a new version, or whatever that is. What they're thinking of obviously is in the now. It's the land grab. It's the user acquisitions. It's the new user acquisitions, which cost companies the most. Always. It's not just this industry. It's all industries, right? It costs you so much more to acquire a new customer than it is to retain a current one. Anyways, we can figure that. But when you're brand new, you don't have customers, you got to make a mark. And they really latched on here to Daniel's channel. And so he goes out and he talks about it, and they then went to use it just regularly. And it starts putting a watermark on it saying, here, you have to pay for an upgrade. And then he asked about it, and they're just like, nope. And they just went into the languages, and they avoided talking about when he said the word license. They kept saying plan. They kept saying all these things. Again, I'm paraphrasing what he says, but please, just go watch these ones. I will link to them in the comments of this live after I'm done. So they got it canceled, and then it went, they doubled down on it, and then Filmora goes for a copyright strike on the video. Turn the music off for this. as a brand, if you try to copyright strike a legit concern or complaint lodged by a customer of your business, you suck. You've already lost, and you're making it worse. So many companies out there just decide to do every legal recourse they have, a ramification they can possibly do, other than just freaking fixing it. We try to hide it. PR isn't PR anymore. You can't just go under this cloak and go, well, nobody can talk about us anyways, and we're not talking to anybody. It's a different world, baby. And to take your original creator and not only try to screw him over, but all of his recommendation. This is Daniel's channel. His viewers trust him. And you're breaking that trust. So he's not just fighting for his own $50 lifetime license or the 2 or 3 that he has. He's fighting on behalf of his own viewers. He's standing up for them. And they copyright strike. And then it said later, also, they buckle under the public pressure, but issues a threat. So I highly recommend you go and look at these things. But, again, did I have my freaking thing on the... I did, didn't I? Did I have the whole thing? I had my head was over here still. My God. And here it is. And here is the how to build your reputation over years and lose it in 1 week. Because David exactly sums it up here. He says, I've recommended them a bunch in creator form. That's it. They're dead to me. I'll be recommending people not use it now. Fantastic. Yeah. I don't know how or why a company that used content creators to spread their word now is screwing them over. What did you think they were going to do? They're creators. You just gave them content. You just gave them mad content. Controversial content? Yep. That checks off the algorithm. Let's go. Look, let's look over here. Let's go in. Let's go in and take a look. Okay? Because I'm going to show you here that this is when I search Filmora. Okay? If I'm looking at the product, there's something from Filmora, there's something from Filmora, and boom. Copyright strike. And then you keep going. Filmora, another one here where Lewis here jumped in and talked about because of what was happening with Daniel's channel, but then he's talking about actually how garbage the company is because of other reasons, because of their software that repairs iPhones that can actually damage them more. So here comes the waterfall. Here it starts, here it goes. And this is how it's going to end up for them. And then I'm putting this video on there too. Now, I don't have the reach of them. I'm not a creator where I go and, build an audience and a following on YouTube or anything, but although this is currently streaming to it. And this is it. David says they won't let you use their old lifetime version anyway. They force the upgrade to the latest version like that. It's unethical. It's unethical. Wondershare. You are an unethical company currently. Would you like to change that? Ridiculous. If you want my assumption of what happened, simply somebody else took over and they're like, enough of this. Enough. Like, I have a grandfathered in Aweber account for ESP, for an email service provider. I pay $40 a month. I have 10,000 emails on there. It's not $40 a month anymore, but I was grandfathered in. And I keep it, and I have the same features, and the same things. And they throw it. Oh, cool. Somebody just spammed me on Twitch. I don't even know why I linked to Twitch. It came up the content. Offering promotion. Get out of here. I hate people sometimes. Anywho. So if AWeber came around and said, just like you're taking here, David, if AWeber came to me and said, hey, we have a brand new AWeber with 100 different features that wasn't included on the old one, for you now to send emails to your subscribers, you have to upgrade. I would lose it. I can still use it now. That's the thing. If I was Wondershare, it's very simple, and a lot of you think it anyways. You're grandfathered in. You're grandfathered in. Yeah, and you have to deal with it. That lifetime license upgrade, yeah, give it to them. That's it. You could have solved it. So simple. Andre says, just like you said the other day, new blood comes in but doesn't necessarily have the same passion as the founders, people that pass in the torch. Poor culture ruins everything. Yeah. Or it could have been their investors just said, all right, that's it. We need a return on our investment now. Maybe it was that they couldn't keep the lights on. Okay. But the thing is, you're not getting the money from Daniel and his viewers. So it wouldn't fix it anyways. It's such a clusterfuck. It's just... Business is hard. I know. It's hard to make sales, period. We don't talk about that enough. It's hard. It's really hard. It's hard to sell a book. It's hard to sell a subscription to a video editor. It's hard to sell consulting. It's tough. But you did it. You got a user base. You got creators loving it, dedicated, raving fans. Man, I want to find out if somebody just left or something. Because, oof. And the problem is, you know what happens here? All customer support, all client support, they're the ones that are going to have to deal with this fallout when it's usually an executive that made this decision and doesn't have to deal with it. Except you're going to lose money. Potentially. Kills me. Anyways, I want to link this to I want to link this to the accounts and the videos so everybody's got it. Thanks for hanging out today for a little quick jump on here. I'm going to do more of these as well when the stuff comes up. So hope you'll enjoy it. That's it. Talk to you.